Hey guys, welcome back, and yes, part 2 of the base building guide. Now, sorry for taking so long guys, but there was a few glitches with the base building and I struggled quite a bit. And of course I was building the base on my own, so it really took some time. And yes, basically where we are at the moment is at the top of a hill next to Woodhaven. And I'm just showing you guys where I've hidden my crates. The first base building location was raided, unfortunately, so the guys knew where I was. And afterwards I thought to myself, look, that's a great part in the north, but I usually focus on new players, so I thought the south would be a much greater, much better idea. Now, of course, the first thing you're going to do is try and be as light as possible, and then you're going to chop the wood. And then as soon as you've basically chopped all the wood from the trees, you need to turn it into lumber. And lumber is basically going to be the kind of wood that you're going to be using for most of your parts, like your walls and your floors and everything. Except if you're going to use poles, which is a more robust look, but then of course you're going to have to craft poles. So most of your construction is done with lumber, and if you want to have a bit more robust look, you're going to work with poles. And of course, as soon as you've converted all the wood logs into lumber, you're going to have to look at what every part needs. So right there it says 2 wood ramp panels and large platform. So for a large platform, we're gonna have to use 3 wood floor panels. And what I usually start with is the 3x4x4 platform with the stairs. So I first craft the 3x4x4 platform, and then I upgrade it with the stairs. Of course, you can see weight is always an issue, so that's why I told you guys, always focus on the numbers and try to not have any excess items in your inventory. I've got a pistol on me for basic defense. I've got a stun baton for any mutants, and then I've got 2 hand grenades for worst case scenarios. If a clan drives up on me, then at least I can blow up the vehicle and I can give you guys something to look at. So yes, right there, got the 2 wood ramp panels, and there we've upgraded it to the 3x4x4 platform with the stairs. Now this unit is of course really important, and I usually use this for my centerpiece to know that I'll be building around it. And of course it's very important to get some height and to get to your next level. With a signpost on the floor, you can normally build 3 levels high. You can build something on the 4th level as well, but I don't think you can build higher than 3 levels. So you can put sandbags there and stuff like that, but you can't build 4 platforms on top of each other if your signpost, is flat on the ground. You have to elevate it a bit. So the reason I chose this location is I'm basically showing you all the resources I got at this little at the dam at the bottom, and that house is a great location for rope and various resources. And then the other side of the mountain we've got Woodhaven, and at the gas station I can get a lot of parts that I need. There's barbed wire close to me, there's vehicles so that I can get scrap metal, which of course you need to upgrade your walls, and for various other things. And yes, barbed wire is very important for other defenses. So Woodhaven is just down the hill, which is great. And one thing that I need you guys to focus on, if your location is great for food, then that's good, but at the moment the water catches aren't really working that well for me because the storms are happening quite a bit, and that normally poisons the water. Okay, so what I'd rather like you guys to do is to fill a propane tank with water, and then just convert the dirty water into clean water. One strategy that I really like using, I used it in the beginning a lot. Now that I know the map, it's a bit easier, but still, I still don't get my path finding 100%. So the Survivortron is a great tool to see the time of the day, the radiation levels, and frequencies, and maybe listen on other people. And then your coordinates are extremely important, and the compass. So if you find yourself building a base somewhere and then getting lost when you're going to your resource points, like I have to go to Woodhaven, I have to go to the little farmhouse, I have to go to the little cabin, and there's various spots around me that I have to go to. And if you want to get your direction perfect at a certain point so that you don't waste any time, like a lot of the time there'll be a blizzard happening near me, and before I built the heater and I didn't have matches on me, I had to run to a barrel, okay, and that takes a bit of time. Yeah, I'm just showing you guys where you can find tarp. I struggled a bit to get a location where I can get tarp really quickly. And yeah, I'm just showing you an example of a hatchet or a crafted hatchet. Okay, excuse the ping. The ping is always bad here, but we're going to make a plan somewhere along the line. And yes, not every hit counts as a woodlog. But when you're using an axe, you can see it's just catching up there with the latency. But every hit counts as a woodlog. Okay, so if you guys can gather axes and really hide them well before building a base, that will really help a lot. Okay, if you can gather about 5 to 10 axes in a small crate and hide it really well at the place where you want to build your base, that's going to save you a lot of time, because hatchets, breaking and crafting hatchets, is going to take a bit of time. Not just the crafting part, but getting the resources. So planning ahead of time is very good. And then, yes, I don't know how this guy got this right, but I know people are talking about Chinese hackers or whatever, but this guy's probably just been farming himself to death. And yes, this is another option, guys. As you can see, these are full metal parts. Okay, which is very difficult to raid, and you can tow it with a vehicle from various parts on the map. And this guy, as you can see on my server, is farming the crap out of it. Okay, he's got about 10 doors there, multiple walls, and he's at the cinema. And the cinema is really good for protecting your loot, because it's got the little entrance where you can just close up the front and the back of it, which saves you a lot of time. And I mean, you can, yes, it's almost impossible to get there if the guy really stacks the walls. As you can see right inside here, it's got full cover, and then you just need to stack it up with walls, which makes it a perfect spot for you to hide your loot. But of course, a lot of people go for it right at the beginning. And as you can see, yes, farming, he's got the barbed wire here and everything, so really a nice spot. Now, a lot of guys asked me about getting trucks and armored vehicles, into their base. And yes, because I love quads and buggies, I've never really needed to do this, but these are the basics, guys. What you have to do is craft your walls. Now, my distance between the walls aren't perfect, so I'd rather put a 3 meter high 2 platforms here, and then make a ramp for the vehicle to ramp on top, or just flat platforms at the bottom to space my walls right. Okay, another important thing here, guys, if you are deconstructing pillars like this, please, you can die, but please grab the bottom part before the top part falls on top of it, because when the top part falls on top of it, it disappears. Now with a column it might not sound bad, but with walls and other parts, you know, it can be quite frustrating. And of course, just showing you the best way to stack things on top of each other perfectly is to stand still, and when you've placed the first part perfectly, like the first wall, just stand still, craft the second one in your inventory and just place it immediately without moving. You know, and that will place it, the top one, it will be identical to the bottom one. Yeah, I'm just showing you guys, if you build this width, you've got no problem getting out in and out of a truck and you won't die. At this point I'm very happy with it, but as I was moving parts it started dropping down. Oh yes, if you guys ever wondered how to get off the gas station's roof by Woodhaven, you just grab onto a tree. Well, at least I tested it, okay guys? I'm still testing things for you guys permanently. So, yes, just thought I'd let you guys know, you know, don't try and grab onto a tree. So yes, as you can see, the left part of the wall was already dropping a bit, and you guys will see to the end of the video. What I normally do is I line up the column with a wall and then just try and guess the depth. But you guys will have to play around with this because you have to have the pillar perfectly in the middle for you to place your platform at the top as nicely as possible. So here you can see my column isn't exactly in the middle, it's a bit to the left, and as soon as it's in the center it goes down. But yes, that's what I mean by that. Sometimes you're going to struggle to place the parts, and at the moment there is a problem with metal with upgraded parts. Okay, if you guys upgrade the parts, you're going to struggle a bit to place them perfectly. So what I suggest is first building your base completely from just standard wooden parts, okay, to really just help you a bit with the placing of it, because I've seen firsthand that if you deconstruct something and replace it with another part, working with upgraded parts, it doesn't work as well as just working with standard wooden parts. So please try and construct your base without upgrading anything, you know, and don't have any loot there because you're going to get frustrated with people looting you all the time. But yeah, just construct it beforehand without upgrading anything. I upgraded the walls because I'm not very bothered about perfection at the moment. What my focus is just showing you guys different things, and you can see the high bridge there that you can use as a checkpoint, and then of course you can put the low bridges behind your walls and then use the new feature of these little doors, and yes, have peeking areas. Of course, when you're opening gatehouse doors, remember to pull it. And what I'm showing you guys here is what I've seen when raiding bases, is that people tend to stack these parts, and it is possible, as you can see there, the one gatehouse was inside the gatehouse. So if you guys are really fanatics about protecting your loot, then yes guys, you can place multiple parts inside one another. And I think I raided a base once with a normal door, which is normally the target point when raiding a base. It's just a normal wooden door that's got plating on it. And I literally hacked through 10 walls. So the guy literally stacked 10 doors in front of each other. Okay, so that's also a tactic you guys can use. As you can see, the right part there has fallen. And yes, the lining is off. So as you can see, I'm very frustrated there. But as you guys can see, I'm just giving you guys examples of how to protect. Okay, you can stack that compartment just like you want, but you can park anything inside of there. And the roofs aren't really necessary. You can just stack platforms there at the top. But this is the basics for getting anything in there. And if you can drag a craftable, if you can drag a full metal entrance to your base, then I think Raven told me anything can drive in there. But again, he said if you're gonna try and protect an armored vehicle, his advice is to really stack it and get full metal parts. So if you want to drag full metal parts to your base, focus the full metal parts on protecting your loot and your vehicle. The rest of your base, which is basically just there for show or to look nice, isn't really important. So use all your full metal parts for your loot, your crates, and of course your vehicle, to make sure it's got the maximum protection, because that is going to be any clan's target when they raid your base, is to get to the loot and to get to your vehicle. So yes, guys, I think I'm going to make a third part, but it's not going to be as long as the second part, just showing you guys how to make, again, not to be perfect, but just to make a little staircase that can go out. And yes, I'm going to make a third video. One note, the heater is extremely important. The heater, look at my heat going up. The heater works better than any fire, any barbecue, anything in the world, okay? A heater works extremely quickly, guys. So, yes, in the notes below, I'll tell you how to craft the heater, because it confused me a bit. But, yes, as you can see, with a few parts that you pick up in the world, like a camping chair or a camping table, and, you know, basically bringing a drill to your base, these little parts that you find in the world really adds a bit of value to your base, and, you know, makes it feel a bit more like home. And of course, like I said, the water collectors I'm not crazy about, because any kind of radiation storm and all my water is spoiled again, and then I have to empty them. So yes, this water purifier is definitely the best option for me. But again, hide it as well, because people tend to grief. I don't know why people grief such a lot, but they definitely do. And one note that I want you to make is that you can put a crate inside of any 1.3 meter platform. Okay, so people started looting my crates permanently and stealing my vehicles. So I built this little 1.3 platform here and put all the loot inside, and I didn't get raided anymore. Okay, there's a lot of things you can do with that. Okay, imagine you make a 1.3 platform and you put one crate inside, you know, and then close it up with walls. A tactic here, guys, the alt key, if you're holding the alt, you can rotate any part, and that will definitely help with placing walls where you can't stand back far enough to place the wall, and then shift will let the part drop through whatever it's standing on. Okay, so if you want to place a crate below a 1.3 platform, use the shift key for it to just drop through, and the shift key will help you to, if your part is, you know, above you, it will always help you to target where you want to put it down. And yeah, like I say, the metal parts aren't the easiest, but you can still get it right. And yes, this isn't really well hidden for me. What I would usually do is now build 4 walls around it with a door and make it look like a little base inside, so that people don't think that something is at the bottom. But yes, this is just a small example of places that you can hide your loot in, and the small one I'm a big fan of, because that's what I usually do. I put my crates in a hidden location, and I do it like that. So yes, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please click that like button, and if you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and then of course just click that bell button to be notified of future content. And like I said, in the third part I'll make it about 10 minutes long and just give you guys all the tips I've learned. I'm not going to show you guys how I build the base up to 250 parts. I'll do that at my own pace, and then when I'm done one day, then I'll show you guys the base. But yes, for now, I'll in my last part, I'll just make a 10-minute video where I'll be showing you all the most important tips that I've learned through the process, and hopefully you guys will find that very helpful. So see you guys next time, and like always, just have fun, guys.